Welcome to another episode of The New Normal with Natasha. And is it possible that we've streamed everything? No. With summer just around the corner, there are so many movies to see. So I called on my friends from the Critics' Choice Association. They are a group of journalists all around the world who watch movies for a living and vote on what movies should be seen. Let's check in on them and see what they're streaming coming up this summer. So just to give you guys an introduction, we have Andrew Freud, a TV entertainment host out of LA and works for Dish Nation. We have Terry Hart, who is an entertainment reporter and producer in Canada. Bonnie Laufer, who works for Sirius XM and CH Morning Live. And Sean Edwards from Kansas City Fox News, who's on the board of the Critics' Choice Association and also works for Hidden Empire Film Group. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining
What's
me.
up?
Hey, good to be
here.
Hello.
Okay, so what have you guys been streaming that you feel hasn't gotten enough love during this time?
Outer Banks. Outer Banks is fantastic. Outer Banks is a show you can watch with the family. This has been the challenge for me recommending things because so much that's on streaming is really specifically adult content only. And people are home with their families and their kids and they want to watch something. And I love the fact that my 14-year-old nephew turned me on to this. This is the weirdest mashup ever. It's like Scooby-Doo meets Miami Vice. A little bit of sex, a little bit of violence, but nothing that's going to make anybody uncomfortable, I don't think.
Okay, Bonnie?
Well, one documentary, of course, everybody has to see is Becoming. It's the behind the scenes of Michelle Obama's book tour. It is just so inspiring. And another thing that I really want to recommend is a series called Normal People. This show is so fantastic that I honestly, these two kids, it's about young love and the ups and downs of young love and miscommunication. And there's very explicit sex, but honestly,
you guys all agree on that one. We like the explicit sex streaming services provided for us.
Love it. We need more of it.
We need more. Good. Sean, you're quiet. What do you think? And what's the best thing you've streamed so far?
I'm into intelligent, smart stuff. One of the things that I really enjoyed during the pandemic thus far is Mrs. America, which deals with the whole ERA movement in the early 1970s. It's smart, it's intelligent, great writing, terrific acting. Cate Blanchett is terrific. And they also had 2 episodes that were dedicated to Shirley Chisholm, who actually was the first woman to officially run for president of the United States, and she just happened to be African-American.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's such a great show, so compelling. I think Rose Byrne as Gloria Steinem, I have to do double takes every time I look at her.
It's the best role she's
wow,
ever done.
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Right.
I love the fact that I'm talking to you guys because we get a different window into what we should be watching, and you're kind of opening our eyes to some other content that should be buzzworthy. Andrew, I haven't heard from you yet.
Well, one of the things, and I'm sure people are going to hear about it soon because it's out now on Netflix, is The Lovebirds, which is starring Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae, which I thought was a very smart, well-written comedy, but it also had different messages about class, about race. So it was kind of multifaceted, and I think it's going to do really well on Netflix this weekend.
So how has the pandemic affected your jobs?
I'm on air every day. This hasn't stopped. There's a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of, the pipeline's not close to being empty right now. Just the way that people are receiving the content has changed. No, you can't go to a multiplex and watch anything new, but there's tons of stuff still available, and we're working every day.
And also, I'm finding that now people are more willing to just talk and do something even off the interview circuit. Like you can tweet an actor or tweet a director, and they'll totally, talk to you. And that's what we've been finding on our show.
I also think that people are more willing to receive content and try something out that they wouldn't necessarily go to the multiplex to see. People are willing to branch out a little bit because they're in the comfort of their own home. They've paid for their streaming service. They're not shelling out $20 for a movie and whether they like it or not. So I think that, audiences are open to different content. We're allowed, and they're kind of hungry for us to guide them in a way for things that they might not normally be turned on to. So I feel like our jobs as entertainment reporters and journalists is kind of the shackles have been, ripped off, and we can go try this out, try that out, and go back in time for movies that maybe people didn't see or they didn't catch fire, and we are still fans of, and we can remind people that they're still there for them to see.
Okay, so now that we're watching all of this content, and now that we've found a way to pivot on how we deliver and how we create content, what are you looking forward to getting back to, and what are some things that perhaps you don't feel we need to go back to regarding your jobs?
I mean, I miss the travel. That's I miss going places other than my living room to work. I'm super curious to see what happens with Tenet, because that's really kind of the first big blockbuster that's supposed to come out in theaters. But we just don't know yet.
Off of that, what do you think is the biggest setback that this industry is going to face?
Lack of production. If you can't produce anything, you won't have anything to show. So it doesn't matter if you're getting butts in the seats or not, because you won't have any content. That's gonna
But ultimately, if people don't want to go, if people don't feel safe going to a movie theater, it doesn't matter if there are movies being made or not.
No, you can stream them.
But I think that for the industry, the theatrical model is over, or it's getting closer to being over.
Yeah.
And the challenge for that part of the industry is, are people ever going to feel safe again?
When the lockdown is lifted and we are allowed to go back freely into the world and watch a movie in a movie theater, what is that movie that you can't wait to watch in a theater for that movie experience?
I think my first one that I'm dying to see in a theater is Bond. And it kills me that it's been sitting on a shelf this whole time. It's there, it's finished. Yeah. It was about to come out. And that is obviously just the perfect film. Top Gun, the new Top Gun as well. Let's hope that Maverick comes out in December. But those two, Bond and Top Gun Maverick, are kind of my two tentpoles that I really need to see in a theater on a huge ass screen.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm a Broadway gal, so I really can't wait for In the Heights and West Side Story to see.
Oh, me too. I want to go with you.
Okay, it's a date. It's
West Side Story for sure.
As soon as they let us cross the border into Quebec, I'll be there, no problem. But
Okay.
I am excited for those. So I like seeing those big Broadway musicals. They have to be done on the big screen.
Me, I'm going with Andrew and Bonnie to both of their picks because they were on my list too. I mean, they are the big ones, right? They are the ones that we want to see with that big screen, big sound, big production value. But there is nothing like being in that movie theater. And as much as I'm worried for the business model and have a responsibility to speak honestly about what I think about the theatrical business model, man, I miss it. I want to sit in that room. I want those lights to go down. I want that big sound. I want that experience of discovering something.
You want to feel the seats shake when Tom Cruise goes in the F-16.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
And Sean, we had Dion Taylor on The New Normal with Natasha, and everybody loved it. And we know that you have a film that had to be pushed back as well with Hidden Empire. So I'm guessing one of your films is a Dion Taylor film.
Definitely Fatale, starring two-time Academy Award winner Hilary Swank. Man, that film's got to open on October 30th, or I ain't eating. I gotta eat.
I'll send you a care package, Sean.
It directly impacts my household. I got kids in college. I need food in the fridge. I gotta eat.
Thanks, guys. I miss you lots and send you.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
That was
Hi, everybody.
There's never a dull moment when you put a bunch of critics together, right? I love all of their views, and I know you love them too. I think I'm going to call them back in about a month just to see how the industry has changed. Thanks for joining The New Normal. See you next time.